Hi, Linda. Hi, Stevie.
Hi there.
Hello. Hello.
How's it going?
Fine. It's in the mid to 80s here. The sun is shining. Not supposed to have rain for a couple of days, so it's pretty nice. Next week is supposed to be beastly hot, but we're going to enjoy this week that we have. So,
Oh my, we are hot down here in Florida. Oh my God. And we have our afternoon rain coming through.
I challenge your heat, and we'll raise it. It was 104 yesterday. It was so hot you could hardly breathe.
Yeah, it's a dry.
And, oh, yeah. You say that now, but they say there's a hurricane brewing in the Eastern Pacific that's going to be moving up. And whenever that happens, we get these giant, beautiful thunderstorm clouds off over the deserts, which means this place is about 104 and 80% humidity. Wow. So again, I will take your heat and I will raise it.
Yes. Yeah.
So what do we have going on today? I know we have a new format for It's So Road that we are starting with this week.
Yeah, we have two guests on.
We do. We have two guests. So we have David Taylor. We have the David Taylor on. And who else?
The Beth Watts.
Yes, I'm excited. In between the two interviews, I have a new teacher that we just added. I think yesterday, the email newsletter went out to talk about her. And we have some pictures of her classes. She's teaching wool applique. So in between the two interviews, we'll be showing you some of her stuff before we bring Beth on. So I think it's about time we get David on here. What do you think?
I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, Jillian, let's get David on.
Hey.
Hey, David, how are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon.
So what's it like in Colorado?
It is, well, like the rest of the country, we are hot, H-O-T, hot. And we see all those California wildfires that smoke. I can't see the mountains from my window, which I usually can. That's how thick the smoke and the smog and the humidity is. It's, I moved here to look at the mountains. And, I can see a parking lot, and that's about it.
Well, that's exciting.
Really? Hey, I like being the David Taylor.
I know.
But I've met, I think, 26 different David Taylors in my life. And I went to college with another guy named David Michael Tyler. I'm David Michael Taylor. We were in the same classes together.
Wow.
There's David Taylor, Cadillac, David Taylor Dance Theater, David Taylor the porn star. So watch when you Google my name that you get the quilter. I'm not making this up.
I'm not going to verify that, David. I'm going to take you at your word.
But I like being David Taylor the quilter.
Yes. Well, we have a David in DC. We have a David Taylor tidal basin. So, you could add that to your.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah. So next time you come to town, I'll take you there.
There's a David Taylor that won a gold medal in wrestling at the Olympics.
Really?
Really?
I did not. That wasn't me. No.
Welterweight, I'm sure.
Not a wrestler. But yeah, there's a lot. There's lots of David Taylors. I when I was traveling a lot, especially internationally, truly, I was stopped and interrogated at Heathrow because they were looking for a David Taylor who had smuggled or embezzled some funds. I'm like, I don't have enough money. Nope, that's not me. But truly, it's kind of scary. They take your passport and they do not let up. You answer the questions. And of course, I have a smart mouth, so I think they kept me there longer than I should have if I would have just answered with yes or no.
Yes.
But
yeah, we know embezzlers always have quilts in their luggage, right?
Yeah, when I travel, they are with me on the plane.
Absolutely.
They're right above my seat when I have to travel internationally.
Yeah. So what have you been up to lately?
Since the pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with most of the shows all shut down and most guilds shut down, I think I've done 4 classes since March of last year.
Wow.
So I relocated back to Colorado because I was living in New Hampshire
Right.
after my house fire, and then the world, it just shut down. Like one day I was busy and the next I was not. So I came back here. I've been purging my stash because with this last trip when I moved, I had 88 cartons of fabric. So I thought, I don't think you need 88 cartons of fabric. So while I have had nothing to do and I'm just sitting at home, it was so much fun. I touched every piece of fabric that I own and just went through it. And a lot of the stuff that I'd had, that apparently I was living in denial in New Hampshire about the smoke damage and the fire damage that's on the fabric. So it was a good time finally to go through it, and anything that was too burned or had too many markings in it, it went away. So I'm down to, I think I got it down to now I only have 67 cartons. So
is that how you store your fabric? Is in cartons or?
No, they're all on the shelves behind me.
Okay.
We can slide this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Full wall of fabric. So I did. I went through every single piece, refolded it, put it on the shelves. It's all in color order. So yeah, but it was time. It was time to go through that stash. A lot of it I hadn't seen in a long time. So anyway, so that's all I've been doing and working on quilts. So I finished a major piece last year that I had hoped was going to be at Rhode this last January, but that didn't happen. So it's just been waiting for another show, and that's my secret master work that I'm not showing anybody.
Oh, okay.
94 by 65.
Oh.
And it's
my goodness,
all pictorial work. And I started that piece, I believe, in 2015. And then the work I had done on it was lost in the fire. So I just gave up for a while. And then in the new house in about 2017, I decided to retackle it. And so I redrew the pattern and recut, and then I became obsessed. And so during the pandemic, I actually got it finished.
Wow.
But nobody gets to see it, and I want to, debut it at a show. But then I finished this one. This is my pandemic quilt, and it's called "Wake Me When It's Over," because koalas, they're very sleepy. They like eating and sitting pretty much.
Yes.
And so when I went to Australia, and I taught at my friend Michelle Pearson's shop in Perth, and so she took me to like the petting zoo, where you get to pet the kangaroos and the koala. And so I took that photo of him. And so just looking at his expression on his face, like he's just waking up and wake me when it's over. So I actually did that whole piece during the pandemic. And that was one of my fastest creations.
Yeah, he's really cute. He's so fuzzy looking. You have such a great way of picking fabrics to create texture. It's just amazing.
Thank you. So then this is the other new piece that I'm working on. And it's called Too Tired to Play. And it's a German Shepherd. You probably can't see him. But I have been posting the progress on Facebook.
Yes.
And I had the whole floor cut out because in my process, I work subject matter and background as two separate things. And I usually work on the subject first. So he's all done. he's cut out. He's not stitched together, but all of his fabrics are selected. And, you know, I'm very methodical and very OCD. So all of his little parts and pieces are in bags that are labeled like upper shoulder, upper torso, upper ear, the muzzle, all the pieces, because I have my works have hundreds of little pieces of applique in it. And so they're all numbered and they're all kept very organized. So once he was done, then I started working on the floor. And so I got the whole floor cut out. And for the first time ever in my work, the floor and the dog did not go together. Or rather, they went together too well. In that when I started putting him on the floor, he disappeared. He was the same color as the floor. And I didn't think I had been doing that, but apparently I did. And I hate it when I'm stupid. And so I recut the whole floor with colors. And so now I have a bunch of firewood of the wooden floor that I had done. But I spent so much time creating this wood, I just am not ready to throw it away yet. And you wonder why I had 88 cartons of fabric.
Yes.
So that's my wood pile. And so now I'm going to finish him up. And, you know, I've got the pattern on there. So he's ready to be stitched down. So I'm at that point now where I'm ready to stitch him down.
So you don't stitch him as a whole unit and then applique the dog down. You do it on the main piece.
Right on the main piece. So underneath here, I have just a piece of Kona cotton, which is like my go-to fabric now. It used to be muslin, but I love that Kona cotton.
Yeah,
you can see right through it, and so I can draw the whole pattern on there, trace the pattern onto the Kona, so all the outlines are there, and then I start adding the pieces one at a time, based on my little charts. A lot of people are not up for my method, but I do teach that quite a bit, but I only teach that as like a 4 or 5 day retreat because there's just too much.
Yes.
Too much involved in it to be able to do that as a 1 day, or I used to try it as a weekend class. There's just not enough time.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell, I obsess over every little piece.
Right.
That I do, and I don't separate by color. My pieces aren't separated by color. They're separated by how it feels and the shapes. And then by going through the fabrics, I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
The fabrics have different colors in them. So I call what I do jigsaw puzzle applique.
Okay.
You have a piece, like if you're doing a jigsaw puzzle, you're looking for a piece that has a little bit of brown and a little bit of tan in it. So
right.
That's what I do. I go to my fabrics and I look for a fabric that has a little bit of brown, a little bit of tan, and then cut it up, pin it on the board. If it looks good, you get to have a piece of chocolate. If it doesn't, it has to come down, and then you try a different piece up there. And then if you get 2 pieces right, you get 2 pieces of chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an awesome system.
So a 4 or 5 day class. Hey, I have an idea, David. How about you teach that at Rhode in 2023?
2023 at Rhode.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we should.
I've done it before at Rhode, but yeah, this will be. I love teaching. I reserve it for special events. I don't teach that class maybe 4, possibly 5 times a year. It takes a lot out of me because I get so involved with those students' projects. You know, it starts, they send me a photo that they'd like to do or what they want to do in the class, and then I approve it. We talk about it. So it's very involved. And so if I even have 4 of those workshops going on in a year, and I've got, 15 to 20 students each time, that's a lot of projects that I'm working on in my head. Because
Right.
I want them to be successful in the class. I want them to love what they do. And it is very involved.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to enroll.
If I do Rhode in 2023, that's one. So
I think I'm going to enroll Stevie in that class.
How am I going to do
Because
that?
I have this basset hound picture. I just have to be made into a quilt. So I'm going to enroll Stevie in that class.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I have men in my classes, Matt. You happy? You know, you can.
Yeah, you have nothing to do during the show.
I know the people
No,
at
I
Rhode
really
maybe
don't.
get you a discount.
Yeah.
I bet they would. And I also bet all my staff would be thrilled to death if I was busy all day.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, David, I know that you, in your past life, you have been a computer graphic designer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you design quilts on the computer, or you do it on a piece of paper? Big
I
piece of
still
paper.
do it on the piece of paper.
Okay.
But I do have a scanner. So, like when I'm doing my small projects, like my patterns,
Yes.
they are hand drawn, and then I scan it in and clean it up in Illustrator. Only because for like my patterns that are for lack of a better word, retail sale, and I need to mass produce them.
Right.
They're just easier if they're all digital. So I go and clean it up and do all that myself, and then get them printed. For my major art pieces, that's my art, and I do not share those patterns. They're my pattern, my one-of-a-kind piece of art. I do have every pattern I've ever drawn still in a box. So if I suddenly die, somebody could sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
But they're just saying. Or they'll be lost forever, and one day maybe they'll be the David Taylor's lost pattern.
Yeah.
They're all one of a kind, my patterns, and those are always just hand drawn. They're hand drawn, the piece of paper templates, all hand up. So there is no copy of those anywhere. But my commercial patterns, those I do on the computer, and I build my own website because I know how. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's always good.
Yeah.
All right, David, we have a question from Wilma. She's asking, do you have a larger space for your studio and fabric in your new home?
No, sadly, no. It's smaller. I'm in a very small room that really, if I reached a little further, I could touch the other wall. But it's only temporary because, I had to sell my house in New Hampshire.
Right.
I didn't have to, but the market was too good. And truly, there was somebody driving through my town to say, "Ooh, we love your house. Is it for sale?" Truly. It could be. So I just knew I needed to get back to Colorado. So I had found this rental. So I'm in a rental townhome. It's very small, but of course you couldn't see it because this was during the pandemic surge there late last year. And so I just did everything by photos. And when I got here, I was like, oh, this is very small. So, my quilting machine is actually in my office. I have another bedroom I'm using as the office, and the quilting machine would not fit in here. So it had to go in there. And then the fabric was stored somewhere else. But now that I purged, and I only have 67 cartons all to fit. There are still 5 cartons downstairs, but that's just Halloween prints because, I can't resist Halloween prints. So I have 5 cartons of those. They don't need to be up here while I'm creating.
No.
But yeah,
So
so
when you
very small, but I knew this was only temporary until hopefully this pandemic will end, although I don't know when, and then I'll be able to go and get something bigger.
Right.
So Christy wants to take a class from you. I think you're teaching you're teaching the big project next year for Road in 23, but in 22 you're teaching some one-day classes too.
I believe so.
Yes.
I don't know what they are, but I think they're hand applique.
Yes. You have one piecing class, and
Oh my! I do.
Yes.
Oh,
You
I
do.
do.
Yes, you do.
I found it on your website and I thought David teaches piecing.
I do teach piecing. I started teaching piecing because one year the ladies at the church put me in charge of the church quilt. And so I gave them all the blocks to piece, and every block came back a different size. So yeah, that gave me the idea to teach a perfect piecing class. So
Yes.
I love my perfect piecing class. We will have points. We will have.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a pointless class.
No.
Uh,
My applique is pointless, but my piecing is not.
Yes.
we have 5 more minutes with David, so make sure you get your questions in so we can get them answered.
Oh, I forgot I can read questions.
You can.
I can. Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I
Well,
can't.
Christy Lee wants to know, maybe you could teach us how to purge. LOL.
This was the first purge I've ever done. And I mean, a lot of it was easy because of the fire. And I even had my sister suggested, well, you could do like Mother used to do and cut out little like 4-inch squares out of all the fabric that has burn marks on it and then put something together with the 4-inch squares. Okay, there's not enough time in my life
Yes.
for 4-inch squares. So those were easy to purge. But at some point, you just have to go, am I ever going to use this? And then put it away. And for my purge, the burn stuff, yes, got thrown away because there's no point in anybody trying to use it.
Right.
Then a lot of that got purged, about 12 cartons worth. I just donated to the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum for their annual garage sale. They have a big garage sale, and all the money goes, you donate stuff you're never going to use, and they will have a big garage sale so we can all buy each other stuff. I told Karen Roxburgh, who's executive director of the museum, please do not let me go to the garage sale and buy my own fabric back. The purpose of the purge.
Yes.
So if you want some awesome fabrics and you live in Colorado and you're down in the Golden area, I believe it's this next weekend. I don't know the exact date. Or maybe it's this weekend. No, I think it's next weekend. You can go and buy lots of great things at a really good price, and all the money goes to help the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum.
So how, before we get to the next question, how big are these cartons? Just wondering.
Like 14 by 14 by 18.
Okay, like a paper box.
Slightly bigger than a paper box, yes, because paper box is 11 by 17. So yeah, like 12 by 18. So a little bit bigger than that, yeah. So it's not too bad. When you have 88 of them, but
yeah. Wilma is still working on the parrots that she worked with you on last August. She's going to move, but how does she transport the work in progress?
See, these are my portable design walls, which are insulation board from Home Depot. And they're like 1.5 inches thick, and that foam insulation, they don't weigh anything. So I keep all my projects on the boards, and I have small ones for when I'm working on blocks. Because, you just score it with a utility knife and snap it.
Right.
That easy. But for the move, I take them all apart, and all the pieces go in their little bags to organize, and it gets folded up to transport. But now that I'm in a spot, it's back up on its portable design wall.
So she can't cover it with a sheet?
Well, I mean, you could, but I would rather just I treat every piece like it's $1 million.
Right.
And I don't want to lose anything, so I've got to be very organized with it. So I would say take it apart, put it in a thing, but then remember to take it back out. But if it goes in a box and goes away, you won't think about it.
That's true. That's true.
Sherry so have you bought more fabric?
Maybe.
How many more cartons, David?
No, I'm not buying cartons anymore. But because I purged, there's empty space on the shelves, and that just looks bad.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I have put in an order or two into like quilter. And I went to my favorite store in Colby, Kansas, the Quilt Cabin. That's my favorite store. Yeah, I can do some damage there. But I was just out in Eastern Colorado again, and my friend Susan was like, "Oh, are we going over to Janelle's shop?" I'm like, "No. I'm purging. I'm not going to the shop." But maybe next. So.
Well, David, I have not seen that work get entered into the Road 2022 contest yet, which is open online, by the way.
Oh, koala?
No, your masterpiece.
No, your masterpiece.
Oh, I forgot.
See,
so I can. So we can enter now.
You can enter right now.
Well, it's because koala. This way, koala is going to the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum. I hope for their biannual men's show, and that opens in January. So koala, I won't be entering, but yeah, the big one, and then I'm hoping that the one that nobody's seen, and then maybe Teton, the German Shepherd, will be done.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yep, the entries are open right now. They close October 1st.
Really? But Rose,
David, I actually opened them early this year just for you because I knew you had that quilt.
I do have that big one. Yeah. Maybe I'll just be able to enter one.
and then we have to jury them too. So
we've got to jury it.
Oh.
It takes a while. You've been there.
I've been there, done that. Yep. Oh, thanks for letting me know because I don't know why I thought entries for road were due by December 1st. No.
Oh, heavens, no. You have to have them shipped to us starting on December 1st.
Oops. Okay. Dang, I'm glad we did this little talk today.
Yes.
December would have rolled around and I'd be like, oh, I got to get my road entry in. And I intend to win some money this time.
Good.
You win, you don't enter, right? So nobody else enter. Yeah.
Well, David, it was wonderful to catch up with you. You're always
has been. I haven't seen you guys for 2 years now. So
I know.
No, we did the road at home judging on Zoom. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to remember that.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
I've been home alone for 18 months. I'm just saying, you get a little off. I'm a little off. But next week, in 2 weeks, I get to go back and teach I'm teaching my 5-day at Woodland Ridge Retreats up in Wisconsin for Chris. And nice little she's been relatively new in the last couple of years. She started doing these retreats. So I can't wait that I get to go teach a 5-day class again.
Yes.
I haven't taught one this year.
Well, I hope you remember how.
Me too. But I'm a great student. I've seen I know the projects they're working on, and so I'm actually going to drive to Wisconsin from here from a little summer road trip, and so it'll get me out of the house for a while.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm getting ready to paint the walls here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, get your entries in, David, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was great. Now, in the quick little intermission we have before we bring Beth on, I want to talk about our new teacher. So we felt like you wanted more wool applique classes, so I told Stevie to find us some wool applique classes. And Stevie found...
I did.
You did. You found Diane, and Diane is the owner of Dawn. Oh, goodness gracious. Dawn is the owner of Linen Closet Design. She does some beautiful wool applique.
Absolutely.
So Jillian's going to put up the first class, which is, sorry, hold on. I've got them right here in front of me, which is Above the Meadow. This is her Monday class. We just love the hot air balloons on this quilt. We thought it would be pretty great. And this is, I believe, wool applique too.
Yes, it is. It's wool on cotton.
So there you go. What's the next one, Jillian? The next one we have here is her Friday class, Bountiful Blooms Bench Pillow. So this is another wool applique class, another gorgeous one. And the last one we have is her Wednesday class, and this is Wild Tulips. And this is a needle churn applique.
Right.
So her classes are online now, and just as a reminder, we do open registration on Saturday, August 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to take these classes, that's when you would sign up for them.
And she has told me that all of her classes are beginner friendly, but certainly a more advanced student will enjoy them also. But it's always good to have something that the beginners can do.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, who do we have on next?
Next, we have Beth Watts, and she's coming to us from her store, Fabric Chicks.
And Fabric Chicks is a longtime favorite vendor of ours, and Beth is actually teaching for Road this year. So let's check in with Beth and see what she's been doing since the shows have reopened.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You're in Nevada.
Gardnerville, Nevada by South Lake Tahoe.
Are you getting any smoke?
It's pretty good now, but it was really, really bad when the Tamarack fires first started. But they've got that about 84% contained, so we're good now.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw you was at Quilt Show Reno.
I know it seems like forever ago, but it was only like last month.
Yeah, and what happy people there were. Oh my God.
For sure. Everybody was so excited to be out and about and able to see us in real life and touch things in real life. It was exciting to see.
Yeah,
Right.
It was great.
I understand you've been on the road.
I have. We're getting ready. We're packing right now for our 4th show this year. So we've done Denver, we've done Boise, Reno, and we're getting ready for Roseville, Sacramento area.
Oh, that sounds good. So
Yep.
how has that been being out with people?
Super exciting. I'm a in-person kind of person. So we've really enjoyed being able to do the Zooms and do the interviews on our computer screens. But being in person, I think most creative people are tactile people. And so I think it's been really, really great for everybody, the consumer and the vendors, to be out in real life.
Right. Well, we just got a message that said that Chris and Eric from Rusty Barnes just love you.
Oh, I love them too. They just love me because I make their show look good.
Yes. So what kind of things when you're vending, what kind of projects are you selling? Are you selling fabric? What are you selling?
A little bit of everything. Our booth is kind of, other vendors refer to my booth as the throw up booth. And I always thought they meant because like people come in and throw up, but apparently it's because I have so much stuff that I bring and I just throw it up and it's there. So you can't really pass my booth because you don't know what you're going to miss. We have doll making, we have trims and embellishment, clothing, quilting, you name it, we've got it.
That's great.
How big is your store?
4,400 square feet.
Wow, it's twice the size of my house.
So when you're sewing, what does Beth sew?
Oh gosh. Well, I sew whatever will sell.
Oh, okay.
When you own a shop, you kind of have to give up sewing what you really want to sew on. If I had my choice, I would do probably hand applique, but that takes forever. And it's hard to convince the consumer, the large variety of people out there. It's hard to convince them for the most part. I mean, there's a few diehard hand sewers, but most people want something quick and easy. I've learned that what really sells for me is embellished, landscapey, anything embellished. If you can bedazzle it, you can sell it. If you can throw a bow on it, you can sell it.
Wow. What's that go behind you?
So that's actually the sunflower is I never know which way to turn. The sunflower is a panel that we have just embellished with silk ribbons and wash away and yarns in the center, anything that will give it dimension. Double-sided leaves, all kinds of fun things.
Wow.
Like when I teach a class, I literally go through the trash can and get all their little fibers and anything that might be useful, and I throw it on a quilt. True story. True story.
Wow.
So what kind of classes are you going to be teaching at Rhode?
Well, funny you should ask. So I sent in the contract 2 years ago. So honestly, I had no idea that I was actually teaching for next year until I got an email saying that I was teaching.
Oh, okay.
So while I was listening to David, I was actually scrolling the website to see what I'm teaching. So I am teaching 2 classes apparently, which is a surprise to me. I'm so excited. But I'm teaching a landscape elements class, which basically, so my kind of view of quilting, and I've been quilting for, 35 years, but my view is that if you have the skills and the knowledge, you can pretty much do anything. So my Landscape Elements 101 class is basically little mini lessons to give you the skills to do all different techniques. So you can use it basically like on the sunflower or the dragonfly. Those all use the techniques that are in the landscape class. But this is kind of what we, I don't know how far away I need to get.
You're fine.
That's kind of what the landscape element class, you'll learn all the techniques to do all of that. And I don't know if you can see up close, it's really dimensional. So the pine needles are very, very dimensional. You use wash away, you use Fabric Magic, all kinds of products that you know are available out there, but you don't know how to use them. And so in that class, you basically you have a sheet protector and all the instructions are typed up, and you'll make a mini version of a pine needle and put it into your binder to keep for reference for when you're working on a project you really want to work on.
Sounds great.
And then the other one is ornaments in the pine. So this is an actual project. So this is one that you would probably finish most of it in the 3 hours.
Oh.
Well, Christy Lee says that your landscape element class is so worthwhile. Highly recommend.
Oh, I paid her to say that.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, it's always wonderful to learn different techniques, because you never know where, down the road where you might apply those things.
For sure. And if you keep a binder with the different techniques, because a lot of times you take classes and you learn something fabulous, and then you roll it into a ball, throw it in your UFO project, and when you dig it out in 3 years, you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I really, really recommend keeping a technique binder with a little sample and the directions of how to do that.
That's a great idea.
Good idea. Yeah. So,
are your classes for beginners?
Most definitely. I love beginners because they just absorb it in and they believe anything you tell them, where advanced people sometimes know more than the teacher knows. But
and usually like to tell you.
Yes. Although I think that's what classes are for. A lot of times you do learn more from the other students, because everybody, especially in the quilting world, they're so generous with their knowledge. And if they have a technique that's a little bit faster or an easier way to do it, they're almost always happy to share. So a lot of times you walk away from a class learning more from the students than the teacher.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Do those things come in kits?
Yes.
Your class kits?
Yes, we have a class kit because it's too hard for everybody to go around looking for a little piece of wash away and a little piece of stabilizer and yarns and fibers and all kinds of funky stuff. So we definitely do kits for, I think for all of our classes, we do kits.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they like
That's
that.
easy.
Yeah.
So this is all you do? You don't do anything else?
Well, I don't know. I was here till 1:00 last night trying to get my long arm fixed. No, pretty much I live, eat, breathe, sewing and quilt shop related things. I do hike and swim, and I've got 2 teenage kids, so trying to keep them alive and out of jail and in school is kind of a little bit of a time challenging effort. Makes you pull out your hair. I now understand why teenagehood is a lot harder than infancy.
Yes.
I thought infancy was hard, but teenagers, nightmare.
Yeah. Do you have them working with you in the business?
Yes, they've been here since they were 2 and 3. So they pretty much can do everything that needs to be done here. My son thinks he's the shop manager, so he needs to get shop manager pay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those battles when your kids know more than you do.
Yes. Oh, teach him how to long arm. That would be good.
I know. Well, he does know how, but he doesn't pay attention to detail like he needs to. But he can. He does long arm quilts for soldiers, and I let him practice on those. Because he's pretty good, but not good enough.
Right. He'll get there.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Well, I think at this point he's going to end up working here for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, I can see we go off to school. So what did you do this summer? Oh, I long armed, and that will just go way over people's heads.
Exactly.
When my daughter was 18, she was quilting some of my New York beauty quilts for my books, but she charged me per square inch for everyone.
Oh, I'm sure my kids never forget to clock in. They forget to clock out a lot, but they never forget to clock in.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, well, in that case, I would charge her per square inch for her room rental too.
Yeah,
and
right.
Food. Don't forget food. They eat a lot.
Oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my electric and my long arm and my thread and my batting, and she charged me.
Yes. Yeah. Kids, they know how to work at every angle.
Oh, absolutely.
Not watching.
That's what we tell Matt, who's got 18, 15, 16-month-old twins and a 4-year-old.
I do not envy his wife.
She's a teacher. She works full time too. So, but
that's a handful.
Yeah. Then they go in 3 different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Dorothy Thomas Reed says Beth's kids are both very polite and professional on the phone.
Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, I wish they were that polite and professional with me. They know how to turn it on and work it for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Yes.
So, Beth, do you see any trends coming up that are a little bit different than what's going on right now, or?
Gosh, you know what? It's so precarious at the moment. I mean, you just never know what mandates are going to come down. For me, I signed up for a lot more shows than I normally do just because it's so unpredictable and you don't know what shows are going to go and what shows aren't going to go. But I think as an industry, we've done really, really well at transitioning to doing live Facebook and live, Zooms. And even though we kind of have an older generation, everyone has been so willing to learn the computers. We were forced to learn the computers. I hate computers. I hate Facebook. And with this pandemic, I was forced to really kind of get out there and figure out how to turn my computer on. And I do think that a lot of, I think it's a good thing in a sense that people who can't necessarily travel and people who can't necessarily, people on the East Coast will be able to take advantage of the classes that are being offered and see the show, because I'm sure that going forward, it will be kind of a mixed online and in-person kind of venues.
Right.
A lot of my online people are really worried because, they're from, I had a class with Sophie Standing from South Africa, and we had people from all over the world signed up for it, which they would never be able to do if she was just at my retreat in Tahoe.
Right.
So it's really kind of opened up the borders so that we can take classes from a lot more people. And as teachers, we can just get out there more than we could in person. I mean, as a teacher, you can't travel all the time, but you can do a Zoom from your house a lot easier. So it's not quite as good as being in person, although it does have its perks. You don't have as many interruptions when you're doing it on your computer and you're at home and all your supplies are there.
That's true.
So I think it's just kind of a give and take. And I think it's shown us what our options are.
Well, has your business suffered any because of slowdown of availability of supplies? I mean, we've been hearing that, fabric is late, books are late.
Everything's late. Everything's undependable. But for me, you just have to be flexible, and you have to have enough inventory that you can roll with something else, because you can't depend on, the manufacturers, they're all so far behind. And for me, I'm getting parts of lines, but not the patterns, or vice versa. And so I've got a lot of inventory sitting in the back room waiting for the whole kit and caboodle to show up. So as a shop owner, it's hard because the bills are coming due, but I can't even sell it because I don't have all of it. But if the pandemic hasn't taught us anything, it's taught us that we really do have to be flexible. And we kind of have to be gracious and cut the shop owners some slack, because we're doing the best we can. And so many of us are short-staffed. Before the pandemic, I had 5 employees, and now I have 1 part-time plus my kids who are going back to school next week. So it's just going to be kind of, we'll see what it is. I'm trying not to think about it, because otherwise I'd hyperventilate.
I don't want you to do that.
I think all shop owners are just doing the best that they can.
Right.
Yeah. So I think this was pretty cool. I can't wait to see your stuff in person.
Okay, well, you just saw it in Reno.
I didn't see it in person.
I think you never left your classroom.
No, I didn't.
I know. Every time I walked by, you were in your classroom. But the ladies were laughing and giggling and having a good time.
I hope so.
Yes.
Oh, don't be there.
And for the first time in many years, I was playing the slot machines the very last night, and 2 ladies, maybe they're even on here, 2 ladies came up and were sitting next to me. They were buying me drinks. So of course, I was going to stay there. It was the first time in years I actually walked away and I won something.
Gosh, do you even remember those 2 ladies' names that bought you drinks all night?
I don't remember anything after that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, Linda, like you could have been roofied or something. You don't even remember the names.
No, I don't.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, girls, if you bought her drinks, put it in the comments so we know who we want to befriend.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, they were even letting me press their bonus button. And I said, do you realize I always lose? And they're like, no. Dude, press our bonus button.
Uh-oh. So they're buying you drinks and telling you to push their buttons.
That's exciting. That's a story that I didn't think I would have heard.
Yeah, I'm just going to say you never know what goes on at the quilt shows.
That's true. That's true.
All you got to do is sit next to me for a little bit and
yeah, for the time of their life, sit next to Linda.
buy me drinks.
Oh, well, good deal. Well, as Beth said, she's teaching 2 classes at Rhode, and she has a booth set up. We have about 5 more minutes with her. If there are any questions, throw them in the chat.
Oh my gosh, most of them are my regulars. They know me like better than I know myself. They could write a book about me.
Oh, maybe they should put some of the stories in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Who's on there? Rondi. All right. Tell us some dirt there. And Rosalind. What's this Zoom you have each week?
So every Sunday we offer a free Zoom. Anybody can join it, but you do have to go to our Facebook page and like us and that kind of stuff, so you get the link. But it's mostly just a chit chat. Kind of when the pandemic started, everybody was so isolated that we felt that people needed to kind of have a place to get together and sew and have the same interests. So from 1 to 4 on Sundays, the ladies just chit chat, share and show and tell, all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, I see. Dorothy wants to know when my next Tahoe retreat is. Good luck, Dorothy. No, the retreat center just raised their prices. Everybody's raising their prices. And I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with all these mandates, because I was just up there with a pop-up shop yesterday, and they've got to wear masks and they have to be separate tables, and there's a lot of rules and regulations right now. So I'm kind of waiting. I know my followers can't follow rules, and so trying to make them or enforce them to do anything would be more of a headache for me. So until things kind of calm down, we're not doing any retreats.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we do Facebook Live sales every Friday, except for when we're at shows. So we make it really easy for you guys to spend your money. Yeah. That's about
What's
it.
your Facebook page?
Fabric-chicks.com, I think. Christy, put it in there real quick, the Facebook page.
It's on there. Jillian just put it up.
Oh, perfect.
They put up the website. So
Yeah.
probably can get. Oh, Jillian's getting it right now.
Perfect. Good job. And we do have a Textile Art Group. That's a free group you can join, where the ladies once a month they meet and they all talk about the different techniques of what they use. We usually give them a topic and a technique. So it kind of forces you outside of your box to do things you wouldn't normally do. It's been really fun watching all the traditional piecers and traditional quilters get out of their box and kind of take a leap of faith that they actually can be creative and free-spirited. And, you know, sometimes you just need a little push to try something new.
That one. Nope, that one.
Awesome.
Yep. Sounds great.
Yeah. All right.
We found it.
Good job. Good job. I knew you could do it. It's all this techie stuff we've been forced to learn. It's not as easy as it looks.
No, Jillian has learned all about live streaming video and video editing in the last year.
Well, we don't edit anything. If we say it, it's out there in the real world for the rest of time. It's kind of hard because you're always having to think about what you're going to say before you say it. And for me, I have no filter. So sometimes it slips out. I know Linda can relate. It just, boop.
Yeah.
I know.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you from New Jersey?
No, I'm a California girl.
Wow.
I know.
Where in California?
Hayward, California, Bay Area.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep, born and raised. But I did have 10 siblings. So, you know, you have to learn how to fight for yourself.
So Matt, she knows all about fighting and wrestling and biting and
WrestleMania. Oh yeah, that's. I'm gonna have to take videos of that when they're older. We're gonna be able to sell tickets to those three going at it.
Yeah.
You probably could already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the little guy is taking it out on the big guy.
Matt, when is our next show?
In 2 weeks.
Okay.
So hold on, if I can do some math here, it would be on the 19th of August. So just 19th of August is a Thursday. We'll have 2 new guests coming on. In the intermission in between the 2 guests, we'll talk about some more classes. Some important dates for everybody, though. We will start registration for classes on the 14th of August. So if you want to take any of those classes that are listed on the website, make sure you sign up 14 August. So that's Saturday, August 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific. So we are expecting a lot of server demand, but don't worry. Our tech guy knows. He's already made his little tweaks in the system to make it go better. And he verified we have the right date and time in the system. So it will open.
The right year?
Oh, that's a good question. I only asked the date and time. So August 14th at 8 a.m. registration for classes opens. That's the first chance you're going to get at seats for events like Party Time, where Linda, Stevie, and I will be hanging out at. Linda and I will be emceeing it, and Stevie will probably be trying to keep us in line. Good luck. That'll also be the chance you get to sign up for Roundabout 2.0. And make sure you take a class with Beth. That's important. And go down on the show floor and see her booth. She has a beautiful 10 by 40 booth in the exhibit hall. It's all set. It's all reserved. It's there. It's on the map. So we're good to go. But yeah, the first events for those bus trips, classes, everything, first chance, August 14th. There is no priority registration this year because we didn't have a show in 2021. So it is open season.
And David's classes too, especially the piecing class. That's unusual.
So Matt, is there anything, I keep getting questions, is there anything that they should expect to be different this year?
As in what?
Well, when they come to road, is it just same old, like, you know how women are? We don't like changes. We like we like to know what to expect.
All right. Well, there are some changes, so I'll let the cat out of the bag. There is not there's not a tent this year.
I've only been in the tent. I love the tent. The tent is my favorite place.
You're in the exhibit hall. Yeah, you're in the exhibit hall now, as is every vendor in the exhibit hall. And we pulled the quilts out of the exhibit hall completely and reintegrated them into the ballroom for many, 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 many reasons. Mostly has to do with vendor demand. As vendors slowly start coming back to doing shows, we have to have 130 10 by 10 booths sold to run the pavilion at a break even. And we weren't seeing the demand, so it was the easiest thing to not put up the tent. So for this year, there's not a tent. Also, the dates changed because of the International Sewing Arts Festival. It's happening the weekend before. Road is a Tuesday night, full show, all vendor open preview night. So, yeah.
Wait, say that again. Wait, say that. As a vendor, I need to be there when?
Tuesday night, preview night.
Don't I usually set up Tuesday?
Well, that's before we moved it up. Now you're setting up Sunday afternoon, Monday, and Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, I should read my contract, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you should read the emails we've been sending you that have been going into your spam box.
Yeah, I was going to say I have not gotten a single email.
Oh yeah, we made these announcements like back in November or something. They're all in your spam box, I guess.
Okay, great. I could hardly wait.
What, to read or to come?
Either, both. It's going to be a whole new experience. Good thing for Kelly, because she says most women like to have surprises. I think it's a surprise in itself.
Yeah,
it is. And the cool thing is we are looking through the vendor map, and we've been able to get some new vendors in that haven't been at Road before, and they've bought some pretty good sized booths. They have some great products for you guys to buy. We've been really working on product diversity with the show, so you are going to see a little bit of garment sewing popping up in Road, but garment sewing as a whole will end up being at ISAF. But there's a couple of companies that are going to sneak over and do both. So it's really going to be exciting to see the difference. If you want my recommendation, show up, see ISAF on Saturday nights, go tour LA on Sunday, rent a car, drive around LA. On Monday, sign up for our bus trip. We'll take you down to Eleanor. That's Eleanor Burns. I'll take you down to San Diego on Monday, and you get to go see the Quilt in a Day studio. couple of the quilt shops down there. And then on Tuesday, we'll take you down to go see Hoffman Fabrics in the warehouse. If you've ever done that warehouse tour, it's fantastic. And you'll be back in time for preview nights.
Oh my God, that sounds exciting. A lot of my followers are into garments and they're from all over the US. So I think personally, it would definitely be worth making a week out of it and flying into Ontario. Even if you're from the East Coast, this is a show that you're not going to really want to miss.
And the best thing is, unlike some other shows, the hotel accommodations are fairly affordable. We do not have if you book through us, we do not have a single hotel above, I think it's $160 a night.
I guess I should get my hotel.
Yeah, you should
Before
probably
you say that to everybody, I should get my hotel.
Yeah, because we have some nights that are already sold out, and we have and the flights into Ontario International Airport are really easy and pretty cheap. So we fly. There's a massive Southwest presence there, and you can hop on a Southwest flight from the Rockies to Ontario right now for like $40 each way or something. It's really affordable.
Right. And it's super easy and convenient to get from the airport to the convention center. It's like a few blocks.
Yeah.
Now, don't do what David did. David has this idea that if you can see it, you should walk to it.
Oh my God. No, it's not that close, girls, especially with all your shoes and makeup.
Yes, and the other thing is, the area around the convention center is safe, but we ended up picking David up where the ladies of the night work, which is 3 blocks down. With all of his suitcases and his quilting stuff, and there's David on the corner.
Oh my goodness. I have been there for years and years and years, and I have never known there's a ladies of the night corner.
Yep, down the road.
That's a whole different tour.
Yes.
It is a different tour. That would cost extra.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, Beth, it was great to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Yep, and everyone, will see you in 2 weeks at 11 o'clock for another episode of It's So Road.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Go sew.
Bye.
Yes, Diane. Get your tickets now. See you guys later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.